What's up, guys? This is Krystle Chats, and this is episode 14 of the Healthy Gossip Podcast. We are in the comedy pop up right now. I am so happy to say that I have the cast man in the comedy pop up building, the Mr. Evan Cassidy. How are you? I also have my usual sidekick in the building, the on-air producer, the Mr. Alex Khan.
What's
What
up?
up?
Yeah.
Yes.
OAP.
There you go. Oh, you make
There
it
we
sound
go.
more official.
All
I'm
right.
stealing that.
Please,
OAP.
please.
So the reason why I'm going live right now, guys. So people who are watching this in the future, I'm live on Instagram. I wanted to send out a formal apology to anybody who might have been a fan of mine for stand-up comedy. Because last night I received a slashing live. It was literally.
No, that's just an ego slash. You know what I mean?
No, I did bad. Like it was me. That's what I had to get on the record and say. Like formal apology to Daniel Eachus. I broke our promise, and I know
Daniel Eachus.
I got on stage drunk, and it was definitely not a cute look. So yeah, kill Tony. That was it. It's funny because you're right, Alex. I already got some followers from it.
Yeah. It's a big thing. Yeah. Congrats. You'll have a redemption. I can feel it.
Oh, I better.
Yeah.
And if I don't, like, they're gonna get a letter.
Yeah. For anyone that's listening that doesn't know, Kill Tony is it's like a podcast open mic kind of thing where you could sign up and they'll kind of roast you, and it's a rite of passage for LA comics. So, fuck yeah, Krystle. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, you know what? Thanks, because like, actually, it's funny that you said that because I actually feel bad. And there you go, guys. We're gonna finish this episode. Bye. You can catch it when it airs. See ya. Thanks. Seth says, "What's up?" By the way.
What's up, Seth?
Seth, dirty dogging it, man.
All right, we got work
yeah.
to do. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Check out the EP.
Yeah. So. No, when they called my name, like I literally got like they cheered because I mean I know people, you know, and obviously we had a huge mob last night from Orange County there, so it was super juicy, and yeah, we did not hold it down for Orange County last night,
no.
but you know what, it's okay. Who was
it happens. Yeah.
What's his name? Oh my God, he's gonna beat not
Oh, Viet?
No, of course I know Viet's name. Oh my God, hopefully he doesn't listen to this. But another one of our comics got on, and no, it wasn't him. No, geez, Louise. Oh well. Anyways, a couple of us got up, and it wasn't beautiful. But again, unfortunately, I have to admit, I only really watched it because so many people said that they watch it and they like it. And
well, it's the most successful live podcast, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I believe that's
okay.
The highest
grossing
listenership.
Yeah, it's almost like I should be obligated to at least tune into it sometimes just because I have a podcast, right? Okay,
well,
sure.
I mean, I think there's no obligation.
No obligation.
Yeah.
And then and before I went in, I won't say names, but a girl comic was there for the potluck, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do Kill Tony," and she was like, "Ugh." She's like, "Hell no, I'm not doing Kill Tony." And I don't even think she's done it before, but she was just like, there. She looks at my outfit and she was like, "And they're just gonna destroy your outfit." And so I'm like, all right. And that's of course exactly what happened. My flat chest was a big deal. So yeah. Yeah, they're like, your set fell about as flat as your chest did. And I like the whole thing was about my my non-bra wearing flat boobs. And I clearly still give no fucks. So little titties. It's okay. I can't be I mean, God.
Gotta.
I'm sorry I didn't buy any for you guys. Okay,
ownership,
so
yeah.
you are a big deal in Orange County, especially.
Yeah, I'm a big deal, little titties. You know?
You have tell our listeners.
I have a niche.
Yeah, tell our listeners too, like, on what Chapter 1 and Anchor Bar is. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I want people to know about that because it's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
hard to explain, and you don't really know what it is, and you hear about it until you actually show up, and it's a really cool thing.
Yeah. Well, Chapter 1, Anchor Bar is one of the longest running shows in Orange County, and it's kind of just a marathon of
Yeah.
stand-up. We start at 6 and we go till midnight,
Right.
and about 100 comics go up, and it's been around for almost 8 years. So just, everybody kind of all the surrounding counties, LA, San Diego, Inland Empire, out-of-towners, and then a lot of people in Orange County, they all show up, and they do 3 to 5-ish minutes. And, we've had a lot of cool people come through there, and we're temporarily over at Chapter 1 in Santa Ana. Every Monday, 60 minutes, just 6.5 hours of comedy every week.
Yeah, I think because I have a mic too that you know about at my acting studio. I've actually even taken Evan's stand-up class before at my acting studio.
Workshop, kind of taught some workshops over in Long Beach. Shout outs to my acting studio. Yeah, you guys are holding it down, K squared.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. And because I feel like our mics are good places for comics to try stand up for the first time.
Well, yeah, because Anchor Bar Chapter 1, there's there's a good crowd. There's a crowd of people. It's not like the open mics in LA where it's usually just all comics and they're all in varying degrees of mental breakdown. It's there's
What?
they're all just like, whoa, I don't know what I'm doing here. There's an actual crowd that shows up to just watch the show.
Yeah.
And
Do you know that's how I met my ex-boyfriend? You're almost like responsible for the last guy that I dated.
Yeah, wow.
Do you want me to tell you about it really fast?
Yeah, that's like a Shakira song or something, I think, right there. To
Yeah.
go.
So what happened is that K squared, these guys who are Anchor Bar regulars showed up to K squared.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I guess the guy who is a fan of your show, through, I'm sure, Instagram or whatever, heard about K squared. And because there's always an audience at K squared now, too, as well, which is
Nice.
great. Yeah, thank you for everyone who keeps coming. And so this guy shows up to the mic, and I was like, are you a comic? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, okay, well, great. Thank you for coming, basically. And he stays through the whole thing. And I was like, so how did you?
He had an agenda. He had.
Yeah,
from the get-go.
exactly. Well, because he came whenever we had a really good night and then I guess that's when he saw, and yeah, and then he put me on his to-do list. But yeah, so
There you go.
it didn't last long, unfortunately. But
Well,
it's
happens.
okay. It was
Yeah.
it was a nice experience. And at this point, when this airs,
You got to see the positive in relationships. And
Alex called it.
experiences.
Alex knew. Oh my God, Alex! And we have to talk about one thing from the previous episode that you weren't here last time. You and I, because of my ego, we were getting these two comedians mixed up. Colin Quinn and Colin Kane.
Oh, yeah, Colin Kane.
Yes.
You like Colin Quinn.
Well, I like them both now.
Okay.
And that's what I talked about at the last episode, is I was like, wait, because I had too much of an ego to be like, wait, is that really what his material is about? Because I'm pretty sure he was sophisticated as of
No.
like 2019. And then like I watched some of Colin Quinn's older stuff, and he's a handsome guy. Like back
Yeah.
in, like he was good looking.
No, Colin Kane is the opposite of Colin Quinn.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
I love them both. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shout outs to the Canes and
the
Quins,
Collins,
man.
man.
the
The
Collins,
Collins,
the
dude.
Call
comedy
in. Call in,
Collins.
man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So how many chapters are there? Because you say chapter 1. What do you
Yeah.
consider?
Chapter 1, I'd say at about 6 hours in, it becomes chapter 2.
Okay.
And the third chapter has yet to arrive, I suppose. So
Okay.
there's a few chapters,
So what's your?
Oh,
current
are you?
venue?
I thought you were making. Were you doing a bit or?
No. Because I'm
we-
genuinely
Oh
curious.
no.
'cause-
So chapter 1 is the name of a restaurant that we now do stand up.
Oh,
at.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I thought you were doing a bit.
Oh no, I thought you were like referring to like chapters of the show because it's been running for
No,
how
no.
long?
So Anchor Bar, we started September 2011, and we went until December 2018, and then there was a lawsuit.
Is
there's a
it
guy-
over hearing impaired device? That's what I'd heard.
That and a few other issues that are honestly kind of mundane and
and were
not that
they-
interesting. But we can't. The Anchor Bar isn't having live events for the time being.
Okay.
But we're
Until that's
we're-
all cleared.
until it's all cleared, which should hopefully be pretty soon.
Yeah.
But since January, we've been at Chapter One, the restaurant called Chapter One.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
the name of the restaurant. So we do that. We move that same format where it's a 6-hour show, just nonstop. And yeah, I mean, I book it in advance, so like it's not really an open mic. You know, I
Right.
kind of meticulously arrange the lineup in such a way that I see fit and kind of makes it a fun show. You know?
Yeah.
And I've always kind of been about positivity. You know, Fock Ya Nation's kind of all about just like intentionally positive vibes. And so like everybody that walks in, I kind of try to bring like a customer service element of like make sure everybody has a good time. You know,
Yeah.
you're not.
You're the master of ceremonies.
Yeah, it's not like someone. You know, because we get people that come out to see the show, and it's not like, oh, why are you here? Like, why are any of us here? I mean, I feel like that's often the sentiment at a lot of
Yeah.
open mics in LA.
It's like, do you know where you're at right now?
Why did I choose to do this, and why am I still doing this? Is kind of like the sentiment at a lot of spots. So we've kind of brought that same positive attitude to Chapter One, and yeah, same 6-hour show. Chapter One restaurant in Santa Ana. It moved like one town over from Costa Mesa to Santa Ana.
Which is closer
Cool.
for LA comics.
Yeah, probably about 10 minutes closer. A couple hairs closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Anchor Bar is waiting to get back there. Currently at Chapter One, and yeah, OC. I mean, there's Orange County is a pretty unique.
So do you plan on moving back? Because you were here. You were in LA for a while.
I lived in LA for a couple years.
Yeah. Do you plan
and
on
I would-
coming back?
You know, I'm just kind of taking it one step at a.
Okay.
I'm sort of just going where the opportunities take me, and
Okay. Cool.
for now, I do a lot of shows down in Orange County, and kind of I seem to just I do a lot of shows up in Ventura County and occasionally up in Fresno, down in San Diego, and so yeah, I go where people ask
Okay.
me to go, and where today you're doing the podcast here, I show up. So
Thank you, by the way. so
yeah,
much.
yeah. No, I'm always down. And when I think that sometimes that happens where you live down in Orange County, then people are like, oh, I don't know if we want you on this, or I don't know if this show is worth driving out to. There may or may not be
Yeah.
anybody at the audience. So people kind of
Yeah.
different bookers will kind of feel bad, like, oh, I don't want to make someone drive an hour for this. It might be horrible. So.
I don't like that attitude though, because then people always are like, "Oh, I can't pay you," or it might be bad. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
cool, I will still like,
Yeah.
still please offer, because
Yeah,
because
I'm
you know what
down.
I think is bad? These fucking open mics in Hollywood. So
Yeah,
I'll drive an
yeah.
hour for
Yeah, I try to make it up here as much as I can, but yeah, there's so many opportunities elsewhere, and I've kind of always been about kind of DIY, you know, and doing my own thing, and so making my own videos, searching for Rodman. I mean, I'll tell you what, if Dennis Rodman starts hanging out in LA, you'll definitely find me up in LA more.
Okay.
I kind of go where Dennis Rodman goes. We've been searching for Dennis
You
Rodman.
still haven't seen him? How long?
Well, we've seen him.
When was the last time?
The last time I saw him personally was November 2017.
It's been that long.
It's been that, yeah, it has.
Where are
but it was a
you?
very memorable night.
Does he have an Instagram?
He does, yeah.
Okay, I'll have to
we
tag
send
him
some
in
love his
this.
way. We're doing our web series, Searching for Rodman.
Okay.
You know,
Dennis,
And
come hang out with us at Chapter One.
yeah, because he came to Anchor Bar in November 2017, and he made it rain. He just started throwing out
Whoa.
ones, throwing out hundos, a couple hundos.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Doesn't he have like a sugar mama? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Well,
I heard that's why he hangs out in Newport.
Kim Jong. I know. I don't know what patrilineage that would be, but yeah, no. I was still living in LA at the time, and it was the first of the month, and I was short on rent, like $500.
No
and-
way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he came in and saved
Well,
you.
Not only that, I was driving to Anchor Bar, and I was hitting up my roommates like, "Hey, do you know anybody that would maybe want to sublet my bedroom in North? Or would want to sublet my bedroom for like 2 months? I'm kind of broke." I was hitting up comics down in OC. Hey, are you thinking about moving to LA? Would you want
No
would you want to
way.
want to sublet my bedroom for a couple months? I was at that level.
Wow.
And
Okay.
I was hosting the show. It's a 6-hour show. It was like 11:15, and I'm usually in a Fock Ya state of mind, but because of the rent situation, I was in a Fock No state of mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And then until Dennis Rodman walked in, and he sat in the back of the room, and he's like telling everybody, make a joke about me. He wanted everybody to like clown on him, and everybody that made a joke about him, he gave him $100 bill. And so I told him, I was like, Dennis, I've got way more than $100 worth of jokes. If you've got more money, because I need to pay rent this month.
Wow.
So he gave me a sizable. Let's just say I paid my rent that month. I didn't have
Good
to do
job,
anything.
Dennis.
Didn't have to do anything weird. All right.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about that. What are you gonna make us do, Dennis?
Taken into
Lick-
that
lick-
tap room.
Yeah.
Gotta lick his tattoos or something.
Yeah,
Keg room.
and I started making these hats.
Yeah,
after
I have
that.
2 of them.
Yeah. So I used that money to start making hats.
That
and
guy
stuff.
that you met, that's the
Yeah.
ex. He bought me the hat.
Oh, really?
That's the guy.
Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Shout outs, man. Going back to the Naish,
Fuck
my
yeah.
brace. But yeah, so we've been trying to give Dennis Rodman a hat.
Oh,
So if
okay.
anybody listening knows Dennis, if Dennis is listening,
I'll try to
man,
keep one in my car. and then
Yeah,
I'll-
if you see him,
Okay.
yeah.
Um,
Hashtag it searching for Rodman, because that's the name of the web series on Instagram.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I ever did Anchor Bar is actually the time that you recorded. Like, I think you did like 30 minutes. It was.
Oh, dang!
yes.
Wow.
And it was so
Wow.
good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
That-
that's on YouTube actually.
That's why I took your class.
Oh, dang.
Well,
I
always,
had a suit on. It's like, how could you not? You know?
I
Yeah.
always tell comics, like when they ask me, yes, people ask me for advice. I like classes because they're writers' rooms. Like people are like,
Yeah.
oh, I know how to. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, but 7 minds are better than
Yeah.
one. You know, and if you don't have an ego and you're okay with like people sharing tags or whatever, then
Yeah.
then get some help. You know, like it's not supposed to be easy, which is why what I did last night was so
Yeah.
disrespectful.
My acting studio in Long Beach doing workshops down there. Some good stuff. Yeah, especially down there. There's a lot of people that don't have as much access. They don't really know. They don't know where to start. They don't know about like open mics and stuff, and so it kind of helps them.
Right. There was a
get into that
lady
world.
at Burt's who said that. She was like, "Oh, I drove here all the way from Santa Clarita or wherever she."
Yeah, it's Dr. Maria.
Dr.
Yeah, Dr.
Maria,
Maria.
Oh
yes.
damn!
And
Yeah.
and I told her, I was like, "Well, why?" She's like, "Yeah, I try to come here at least once a week." She's
She
like,
drives from like Covina or something like that. She comes.
Right.
I put her in touch with Paul actually. Yeah,
Oh,
she comes to
Right.
Hollywood because she
SGV.
doesn't. Yeah,
yeah.
she doesn't know how to
"Find the mics."
how to find mics.
San Gabriel Valley.
Well, but that's what I told her. I was like, she goes, "No, there's only like Laugh Factory or whatever," and I go, "No." I was like, "There's mics." I was like, she goes, "What do you mean at a bar?" She's like, "Then people aren't going to be paying attention to me."
Yeah, and you're like, yep.
I was like, "Welcome to comedy."
Yeah.
You know? It's called winning the room for
I
a
didn't
reason.
say they were good opportunities. I just said they were
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah, comedy is really like Herbalife. You know, there's just opportunities everywhere.
Yes.
There's shop pop-ups everywhere.
So true.
MLM, all
Uh,
that.
So, when did you decide that stand up was like your calling to do it?
Well, in college, I was studying psychology, and I
As
was
many of us do.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I was reading a lot, and I had just kind of transferred down to UCI. Shout outs to Go Anteaters,
Mhm.
you know. And I didn't really know anyone I was transferring in, and everybody kind of had already like made their friends, established their friendships, and it wasn't like UCI's got a lot of great research going on, research programs, and so it's not like I think the social life was not
Okay.
really popping, at least back in 06.
Okay.
And so I was trying to get to know people, and was living at the dorms, and so I kind of just started going out to like the different dorm parties, none of which I was invited to.
And there was a
and-
mic at a dorm?
No, well, this is before that, and so I started going
Okay.
to dorm parties, none of which I was invited to. I would just crash them. I just show up.
No way.
And
Okay.
yeah, and it's like a 90% Asian school, probably
Mhm.
99 now. And so if you're crashing a party, you want to kind of lay low. You don't want to stand out. And so when you're the only ginger in a party of
Yes.
all Vietnamese,
Asians.
Vietnamese and Korean Americans,
Yes.
you kind of stand out. So I would kind of get kicked out. And then, you know, some of the
No way.
yeah, I mean, all in just like who it would always happen very diplomatically. Like, hey, who are you? Like who, you know, who invited you? So I developed a technique where I would just, if a party was happening, I would just like kind of, you know, knock on the door, and someone answered. I'd be like, well, is this? Are you guys partying? You know, what is going on here? I heard music. I was wondering if you guys were partying. You guys would be like, well, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from France, you know, and I just moved here. I wanted to get to know different people, and like, oh my God, we got a
that's
French
really-
guy here. Holy shit, dude, this is crazy, man. Get in here, man. Have a beer, dude. Go fuck my girlfriend, bro. Feel free, man. She always want to go to France. I'm not gonna take, you know.
That accent is so good.
Well, I studied French for a couple of years. I studied abroad.
I remember
in
that.
Paris.
You told us that on your
yeah,
class.
and so I had all this. I had all these skills that weren't really applicable anywhere, like competence in the French language. And so I started bringing my guitar, and I would pretend to be French at these dorm parties, and I would essentially.
You're like the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
You
A
know?
lot of people are.
Have you watched it?
No.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh yeah.
It's,
yeah.
yeah, it's really. Have
That's
you
what
watched
it's
it,
about.
Alex?
It's about stand up, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can
I
I
just-
tell you like the first episode?
I saw one scene, which was I think she had just gone on, and Lenny Bruce was going on
Uh-huh.
after her, and then Lenny's all like shaking, like, oh man, I can't follow her. And I was kind of cracking up at that, like the most fearless comedian of all time was like, oh, I just can't follow that.
Well, there's some good scenes in there.
I've
that-
heard
that-
it's
that-
I've heard it's good.
That's super accurate.
That was the only scene I saw though,
But it started.
which was a ballsy scene. It was historically.
It started off with her husband. Spoiler alert. Wants to do comedy. So like the first one, she's like this supportive wife, and then but he sucks. He sucks so bad. He's hacky. He like stole all of his material, and then yeah, she just like stumbles on stage one night after. I won't give the juicy part away, but like the way
Yeah,
she gets
yeah.
into it, it's how we all get into it. Like, oh, we're damaged, and let's talk about
Yeah.
it on stage. I have a funny thing to say. It's funny because my cousin actually just called me today, and he just got his heart broken, and I thought he was calling to say, I saw what the fuck happened to you last night. And I still think that's why he was calling, but he's so nice because he was like, yeah, I was thinking about like trying out stand up. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, you live in Austin. There's going to be
Oh yeah, I was
so many.
I was just out there.
It's a good scene, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny because I guess the music scene out there started to die because they're like not paying their artists, and I'm thinking like if only all of us comedians could bitch like that, right? Like they're not paying us artists. I know it's different. It's different entertainment, but still. And he goes, "Have you ever bombed?" Bro, I'm like, seriously?
He asked you that last night?
No,
or
this
today?
morning. Yeah.
That's a common. I hear that a lot. Like talking to people at Chapter One and
They
Anchor
a-
Bar. A lot of people. That's a common question. Like, have you bombed yet, man? Or, you know.
It's like the first week, bro.
Every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah, but it's kind of it's good though. I don't know. I think like people don't necessarily need to see the wizard behind the curtains of it. You know, people aren't that interested as
Yeah.
well. Like, you know, it's kind of good to keep. You know, people want to see. People are meant to see the final product. They're not really meant to even really know about the
Yeah.
Well-
kind of day-to-day grittiness.
But did you see Dying Laughing?
No, not yet.
That if watch it, guy.
Is that a
because I feel like
documentary or
it's on
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, and it's the line I like telling everyone is when Kevin Hart talks about how like he got a phone book thrown at him, and someone says,
This is Patrice O'Neill. He said, "Read the book. It's better than your jokes."
No, this one he
Oh.
goes, somebody call anybody from that phone book to get this guy off the stage.
Uh,
Yeah. And the fact, it's happening to Kevin Hart. It was the point. And whose podcast was I listening to that was talking about? Oh, Peter Surs. He was saying that, like all of us are just in our cars lucky to like make it to this Victorville or wherever we're going. And then,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
Kevin Hart's getting on his private jet to go to, different shows. So like it shows the truth of how painful comedy can be. And that was my favorite part too, is the guy, some new comic comes up to someone, I don't know which comic it was, but he's like, hey man, he's like, I know there's got to be a shortcut. What's the secret? And he's just like, there's no shortcut. There's no secret.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think anything you do,
10,000 hours.
yeah, well, and there's going to be a series of, it's not just like a straight series of W's along the way. There's definitely going to be many L's along the series, and it's kind of like, what do you learn from the losses? What do you, and sometimes I kind of look at it as it's almost like you're just kind of almost blindly feeling around, and sometimes a loss is, it's not necessarily saying, oh, don't ever go back and do Kill Tony again. It's not necessarily saying that, but it's maybe saying, okay, sometimes you find that you had a loss because that's just not your thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And other times it's that, okay, I need to go back and tweak this and then win. But
right.
you have to definitely be comfortable with, a lot of losses, a lot of mistakes. But Austin's a cool town.
All right, cousin, go to those mics. I told him that too. I was like, he wants to take a class, so I was like, take a class. You'll do great. I feel like class shows, everyone does great. Because it's
any level of preparation is good. Above all, though, I think there's definitely a lot of content out there online that you can learn from and
absolutely
figure out enough from and just start getting out there. But being out in a town like Austin, definitely a good place to kind of work on your stuff and get good. And
so you're still with your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been with her?
About 3 years.
What's her name? I just know that you have a girlfriend, and I've heard you talk about her in some of your sets.
The cast woman.
She's the cast woman.
The cast
you don't
woman.
say her name. And it's okay if you don't want to say her name, because that's one of my like unwritten rules is if I'm gossiping about somebody,
Her name is Rihanna. No,
I don't drop names.
no, I've had her on my podcast actually.
Oh, really?
The Fock Ya Nation podcast. Check it out.
Okay, I have to come be on an episode one of these days.
Her name's Kirsten.
Okay. I have to look this up. Do you post videos of the podcast, or is it just audio?
I post some clips.
Okay.
I'll take audio clips and I'll edit either like a picture or I actually took a clip of Kirsten and I talking. Okay. She was talking about, she went off on a rant about Meghan Markle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
She's very opinionated on
She
the subject
like
of Meghan Markle. No, my Kirsten really likes Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
She really
good
admires her. But we were talking about a term I use, which is SI dub,
which is
stands. It's a shortening of the abbreviation SIW. It's essentially vernacular from Huntington Beach Creole. That's what I call it. Huntington Beach Creole is essentially the dialect in Orange County that many of us speak and evoke. But SI dub is a shortening of the acronym SIW, which stands for Strong Independent Woman. And so, I mean, I would describe you as an SI dub. I mean, you're
thanks.
doing, sure.
Thank
You're doing your thing here. You got the podcast going. You're going out. You're
SI dub.
fighting some battles. Some L's, some dubs.
Yeah.
Some L's, some dubs.
Okay.
But
Cool.
we were talking about which people are SI dubs historically, and Meghan Markle got brought up, and
well, she definitely is.
Yeah, you think Meghan's an SI dub?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, what she, I guess, I don't know if I know too much about Princess Diana to really.
I would say Princess Di was an SI dub.
Well, I heard her story was You guys can. If this is all just gossip and rumors, I'll just apologize in advance. But I guess I heard that Prince, her husband's Henry. No, is it Prince William? Who was she married to? Okay.
I'm not up on my.
Okay.
I'm not up on my.
That
I
is
don't even
so
know
lineage.
I don't even know our celebrities. I can't keep track of their celebrities.
Okay, well that's so bad, but I believe she was married to Prince William. But whatever, whoever Princess Diana's husband was.
Prince Will I Am.
He was supposed to marry. I heard her sister or something, or he liked her sister, but I guess he like went with Princess Diana because she was a virgin or something like that. And then
Dirty dog in it. Right?
yeah, and so because I guess that used to be a thing back in the day. Like I guess they wanted you to be a virgin bride. Yeah. And so obviously now people aren't virgins the way they used to be.
Some are still virgining it up.
Well, I have.
Shout outs to Brando on one of your previous episodes.
Well, he
Former-
lost it.
He did.
Yeah,
he
former
did.
Verge.
Yeah,
Former,
but he's still close to the virgin boundary.
yeah, because that exactly
I
because
love you, Brando.
even though he finished, like I don't know if that really counts as sex.
Oh, it
like-
does. I mean, that was a W. That was a dub.
I know. I'm sorry, Brandon.
Not that I was there like an umpire or something.
So, well,
A cumpire.
somebody listened to that episode and said that they're like, "Oh, you were so mean to him." Shout out to Sean because he's actually gonna come and watch the Kill Tony. He's gonna hold my hand through the Kill Tony video because I can't watch it by myself. I might jump. I told him I was like, yeah, Brandon, like when you start having sex like a normal person. I know.
I heard that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
see? Oh God, I'm so sorry. So yeah, but virgins, man. But again, I'm actually not doing my job. He asked me to help him get laid again. So ladies, where are you at, man? We got to get my boy Brandon. I know. Maybe I have probably some young listeners that might like want to hit me up through an email or whatever. Come hang out with me and all the cool comics, especially the ones in Orange County.
Well, we're not really selling Brandon that well right now. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm sorry.
Well, all we're selling him as is he's very inexperienced sexually.
But that's good.
Yeah,
you can teach him.
maybe if you're there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're a lady that is looking
to train someone.
Yeah, maybe like what type of woman would that be? So maybe a gymnast or something. Like if you're a gymnast instructor, if you're a tennis teacher, maybe I don't know.
You know what? I'm not sorry because Brandon's the one who started blasting my Kill Tony video to like all of the OC comics. Like, you gotta watch this.
Oh damn.
It was bad, Evan. It was.
Yeah.
It honest. Worst set of all time for sure for me because again, like I was talking to Alex about this before you came in that I know the difference between me doing a set that obviously like people are just being dicks and not rooting for me. Versus a bad set. Like, I know what a bad set is by now, so
Well,
that's why there's like
tough.
inexcusable.
It's tough in a minute set because you can't really redeem yourself. You don't really have enough time to.
Well, what I was telling him is that I already got in my head because I literally was trying to do a joke that I've been doing for a year. And because I know it's just a quick 1 minute. And then there was these other two openers that I was like, this would be a cute way to just either like get the people on stage involved because the band was like dressed in like homeless attire. And so of course I was blanking on that. I was blanking on my other one. And then I fuck up the opening line of the joke. I literally had done it that day and the day before because I'm at my ego, I guess. I was like, I can be drunk and like tell a joke I've been telling. Anyways, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. It's in the past. It's in the past again. Brandon, stop showing that to everybody. I'm just kidding. Everyone's gonna see it anyways. But so, okay, yeah, I need to watch that podcast or listen to that podcast with your girlfriend.
It's called Fock Ya Nation, the Fock Ya
Yeah.
Nation podcast, just like the hat has. And I think episode, forget which episode, but yeah, it was Kirsten is her name. Kirsten, the cast woman, we called it.
Okay.
And yeah, she's funny. She's from New Orleans.
Because we
She's hilarious.
we like relationship stuff on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So does she she's obviously been in your life this whole time that you've been a comic.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, we met 4 years ago. Shout outs to OK Cupid.
no
OK Cubes.
way.
Yeah,
Okay.
coming up on 4 years.
Okay.
And I had just it was funny, it was weird because I had just moved up to North Hollywood and she had moved from LA to Huntington Beach. Like
No way.
yeah, she actually moved like really close to where I grew up, like
Okay.
a block away. And so her profile though had said Los Angeles. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on a date in Los Angeles. But she goes, oh no, I live in Huntington Beach, and I was like, oh god.
Oh
But I was like,
no.
oh well, I at least know I know the lay of the land because that's one thing. When I moved to LA, I was kind of dating and it was tough because like you talk to someone like, oh, I live in Santa Monica, and then you're like, okay, yeah, we'll meet in Santa Monica, and then you realize, oh, I don't know the lay of the land. I don't know where the good
Or
restaurants are. I
at
don't
the
know the
wrong
parking.
time of day, it's gonna take you an
Yeah, yeah.
hour to get to Santa Monica
Well,
from North Hollywood.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of hidden little gems in Orange County, and so just kind of knowing that it's like playing baseball. You're playing an away game,
Right.
versus a home field game, and so I kind of had that thought. Well, I at least know that area, and so we went on a couple dates, but yeah, we both moved to opposite sides of town, so we kind of slowly then started getting to know each other over that first year, and
Okay.
and yeah, we.
And then you just happened to move back, so then it was like
Yeah,
kind of,
I moved back about a year ago.
oh,
And,
just a year.
yeah, a little over a year ago, I guess. Probably
So you probably
a
moved.
little over a year.
You probably moved back right
I think I
when I started doing
Yeah,
comedy in Orange County.
Yeah, I think I moved back like February last year.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, there's a lot of stage time down there now, and been hosting some different stuff, and yeah, there's kind of a good little crew right now of all the different people, and a lot of them are like, yeah, they're doing their own podcasts, they're making videos, it's very
Yeah.
productive. I felt like for a long time down there, yeah, there weren't as many people that were like creating stuff because I'm kind of all about that. Well, casting it wide, cast it wide,
Casting a
do
wide
stuff.
net.
Not waiting for permission to do something, like not
Right.
waiting for someone to be like, oh, walk me through this. Just kind of going out there and be like, oh, I'm just gonna turn the camera on, see what happens. So
Yeah, I like your stuff.
thanks. Yeah.
And I love that. Like, one thing I've learned to respect over the years is just consistency, because I feel like that's, and that's kind of the only, not the only, but one of the fun perks of being able to be in LA is that you do get to see different comics every day.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're going to see the regulars, but then you really get to see some interesting characters who randomly, like, just you were talking to the lady yesterday, like you knew her, but she'd never even been to Burt's.
Which lady?
I was sitting in the room in the lounge with you, and you were like, "Hey, Burt's." She introduced herself to me.
I probably knew her. Yeah, I probably knew her from somewhere else. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean, there's so many.
Right, and that's the point, is that like there's just, and also I felt bad because I live so close to Burt's now.
Oh, it was Courtney Shorman. Yeah, yeah. I know
Okay.
her from the Improv. Like, she does her own shows in the lab sometimes. Like, a lot of the girls that she hangs out with come to Burt, so I just figured she'd kind of been around before. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, there's so many people. It's such a.
And that's what's so
Yeah.
fascinating to me. It's like I felt like I got to know most of the comics in OCU after like maybe 6 months or so. I felt like I had
Yeah.
gotten around enough to where in OCU you pick your regular mics that you like going to. Obviously, Anchor
There's
Bar being one of
a
them.
lot more people down there now doing it. Like when I started out, it was kind of just like 25, 30 people that were really
Wow.
going at it, and yeah, there's a lot more rooms now, a lot more shows. So yeah, it seems like in general, since 2011, comedy's really kind of like just been continuing to boom.
And I don't know if it's the state of the nation,
The state of the-
not the nation, but
not
the nation.
not the nation,
Not the
but
nation, the negative
It's
nation.
the state of the nation too. I mean,
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no,
the,
because what I'm about to
the
say,
greater.
what I'm about to say is negative. Is because the world's falling to shit, so everyone's like, "Fuck it, I'll try it." Like, what do I don't have anything to lose
see,
now.
I don't even think that the world's falling to shit. I think that it's just changing so. That a lot
Yeah,
of traditional jobs don't matter anymore, And what we do, if you can monetize, if you know business, you can do comedy. There are a lot of people who aren't funny who have like it's a business. So I think it's also people are looking for, it's a great way to. A lot of people step into podcasts. They learn how to be entertaining on stage, and then they, so it's a. Yeah, I think people want to work in entertainment because, you can't build cars in America anymore. So why not tell jokes,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of positive stuff happening too. I mean, I try to see the Fock Ya,
Yeah.
and things, and so I mean, yeah, I think what gets clicks is the negative stuff. So that stuff shows up on your timeline.
Well, in that case, you guys, I'm gonna be famous by like next week
Dude.
after what happened last night.
Yeah, if you could spin it.
Do you guys? Here, I'll show you.
You should sponsor the post. You should just you should put it on. You should blast yourself all over Instagram, get people to follow you.
Let me show you how bad this is. Yeah, if anything, it's what it's gonna make me do is go to an AA meeting because of how bad it was.
Well, it's like boxing, or I think I'm sure the first. I think the first sucker punch.
Did they delete
I
it?
know that's not a term in
Yeah,
boxing, but
the first
first good sneaky punch you get,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, and for a couple days you're probably like, oh my god, but yeah, after you just keep going up there.
Look at my score.
0 out of 4. Oh, let's see who went up.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
Okay, all right, nice.
Seemed like, was he even like posted? The OC comic? Is it Brian? That's not. It is Brian, isn't it? Is that the one who he works at Rec Room? It's Brian, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. God, I'm sorry, Brian. I'm so sorry. I feel because there's just so many names. Okay. Okay, you're right. Yeah, and I would love. You're great at it. That's another thing that I remember. You're always just like handing out your free tickets, like free comedy show, like for the improv or whatever. And I was just like, damn, you hustle, and again,
Cast it wide. I tell people.
yeah,
Cast
you
the net-
hustle and you're
cast the net wide.
consistent and
Well, I grew up playing in like garage bands, punk bands, and we kind of took a lot of pride in like, hey, this is our thing, and we're not gonna wait around for someone to hand us the ticket. It's like we're just gonna go take a pen. I used to take crayons. I would like make these flyers with like crayons and colored pencils, and I'd Xerox them and I'd hand them out at recess for like, hey, we're playing in my parents' living room on Saturday. Come out. And
wow.
yeah, we'd play shows.
Ingenuity.
Right.
Yeah, well, and it's there, and I think people kind of they kind of get in their head about that stuff, but I don't know, it comes more natural. Certain personalities, it comes more natural too. So it kind of always just came natural to me. So yeah, and I like you meet some cool people. Yeah, I like was at a pizza place, and I had some tickets. I was doing a show at the Improv, and I gave the guys here's some tickets, and.
And they went.
This is like 5 years ago, and they came to the show and at Brea like 5 years ago, and one of them plays in this band now, and the other started doing stand up, and there's a guy Robert Amador. Shout outs to Rob Amador, and so Rob brought this guy Frank Xavier Escalante.
I love both of them,
yeah,
and they're always at K Squared.
And then Adam Sepulveda, and then so those guys come to the shows. Frank Xavier, who Rob Amador had brought to Anchor Bar, he's the one who films and co-creator of the Searching for Rodman web series that we do.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, and then Gabe, the guy in the band, we use their music in the web series. Adam Sepulveda, another just kind of general ideas guy who done some writing with and stuff, and so yeah,
he was in my class.
Yeah, just kind of like. Just randomly putting out the energy, you kind of
right.
It's kind of crazy the butterfly effect of all of it. Just
I'll
like
never forget
handing a guy a ticket at a pizza place, and then you meet a camera guy that way.
Well, it's there's so many people talking about what they want to do, and then to see like one thing that blew my mind with Hollywood was like the production value wasn't high, but it was there.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that flyer, like you made your flyers with colored pencil, but you made but you passed out.
yeah.
A lot of people are like, if I can't make it on a computer, if it doesn't look professional,
Yeah, that's
it
that's
doesn't. It's
that's a big concern that I find, especially in this town. Is like it's like, oh man, I hired this guy in Scandinavia to edit this video. We got CGI, but I just feel like it's not fully there. I'm not gonna put it out. Like it's like
And
Yeah.
that's why
I
I'm
spent 10 grand. I'm
obsessed
not gonna put it out
with
though.
comedy pop-up because
Yeah, no, you guys are doing it here, man.
Yeah.
You're just Koreatown,
Shout
K-Town,
out.
K squared and K-Town, man. Shout outs.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that was kind of what got me to really. I had done I was doing a Frenchman character at parties, and people told me about open mics. It's like when I was like 20, you know, it's like 12 years, 13 years ago coming
Right.
on, and started doing open mics, and so I kind of I got a feel for how open mics work. This is like back in 2007. You know, I even signed up for potluck one time, just didn't get up, but I got a feel for how open mics worked. I started, you know, going around to shows. Was still in college, was young, and then you know, finishing up college, I had some buddies that you know, we would hang out with. We'd have a good time, drink, play some music. And it always went back to comedy, like talking about different ideas. Like, oh, I got this idea for this sketch or this video or this parody. And I had a buddy actually who was like, dude, you gotta stop talking about this. It's like, just make them, just do it. Like, just stop. You're sitting on your hands, you know. And I kind of got offended. I was like, oh, you think I don't make shit, bro? You think I don't make shit, dude? You think I can't make a video, bro? I'll make a video. And so I filmed this. I mean, I was so dumb back then, but yeah, I filmed this like music video at like 10 different locations and stuff. That took like 3 months to edit. And,
Viet showed me that. I was trying to say that earlier. I'll never forget when Viet showed me some of
oh
your
yeah,
music stuff.
yeah,
He
it's
was
all
this is our teacher. And I was
YouTube.com, Fock Ya Nation. But yeah, so I kind of told myself like, oh, I'm gonna take a year and I'm just gonna focus on stand up, and that was about 8 years ago, and been going strong. But yeah, just kind of having that attitude of like, I'm not gonna, you know.
I took a groundlings class like 7 years ago, and there was this guy who was in there who was so talented, and I was so obsessed with him. I was like, dude, you're so brilliant. And told him that. I was like, let's make something. And until this day, it's called Balls Envy.
Balls Envy.
It's on my website. It's so bad. But occasionally I'll get like the text and I'll be like, I saw Balls Envy. And I'm like, yeah, it's bad.
The only thing, like, you can get over bad content by putting out better content. I
Yeah.
think a lot of
Exactly.
people
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care about the old as long as something has replaced it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
But no, where I was going to go with it is, I mean, I think when you do stuff like that, you will into existence relationships like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because by handing that guy the flyer, he was like, oh, this guy actually does shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people. We all have those friends in our life. Like, I could do. I'm gonna start it next week. Nah, my shoulder hurts. I'm gonna, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean you have to go and change your Facebook profile to comedian and
Right.
get business cards right away. But you know, I don't know. I always, yeah, and I like to keep as busy as I can, and
Yeah.
you know, do as much
And you
stuff as I
are,
can.
and that's what's so
But
cool. And
keep it positive. Fuck yeah, energy. You know, I mean, at the end of the day.
And that's why, like, I know comedy is a one-man show, but it does really help to have at least a couple of friends that get comedy because, you know, you got to go to mics, you know, and like if all of your friends are just going to the gym or doing yoga or whatever it is that they do on their extracurricular time, like it's a lonely grind, you know, because I remember even yesterday, could you imagine if I didn't have I took Viet with me. Like, if I didn't have him, oh my God. I don't even know how I would have gotten off the stage because at least I had my friend's arms to go into because obviously that was definitely a major scale, but a lot of the times, like,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately, we bomb, like, on
Right.
regular shows too. So just, you know.
Yeah, you need to be a certain type of outlier that can sustain that, you know, can kind of
Yeah.
sustain the enthusiasm of. I remember one time when I was still living in LA, or before I ever moved up to LA, I would go up to see Roast Battle at the Comedy Store, and I did a couple roast battles, and you know, it is enough of a game in and of itself, just finding parking around the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yes.
enough of a hustle, and the hustle's changed over the years with the varying traffic laws and parking laws. But there was a neighborhood I parked in and it was probably a half-mile walk still to the Comedy Store at least. And so I drove up from Orange County,
You got towed.
Park. Someone broke into my car and broke my
no.
window, and they stole this bag that it was a nice vintage bag that my folks gave me a long while back. Not really worth much of anything though, but fortunately, I usually kept my laptop in it. I didn't have it in it that night, but I did have this. I had this sweater that I would wear as a character that I was really bummed about losing. But yeah, my seat was covered in glass, and I just put a cardboard box down.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, I had a cardboard box, but I ripped up the cardboard. I put it on the seat, and I sat on top of cardboard, on top of broken glass, driving down 4 different freeways back down to Orange County. And those are the type of experiences you're gonna. Yeah, stand-up's a lot of travel. That's why, like, I'll meet people. Like, I used to meet people that wanted to do stand-up. Like, yeah, try it, give it a shot. But I kind of tell people now, I'm like, try it once, see if it's really something you're about. It might not be for you, but if anything, if you want to just do a podcast. If you want to just do comedy,
well,
you can just do it in your bedroom, in your PJs.
I was talking to Sean. That's why I brought up the dating part, because unfortunately, like, people don't get that it's not a Friday night gig. Like, you got to do open mics. Like, if you really want to even feel what it feels like to be funny on a stage, it does take.
Yeah.
Sometimes multiple mics a night, and if you're polishing something or what have you, and that's why, like, and you're right, and the traveling too. Oh my gosh! And you said your story. Mine was low tire, no gas. I was only gonna have the money that the guy was gonna give me for driving to the show, and the check engine light was on my car. So I remember just getting there. I think I just had enough to, like, put, like, enough gas in my car to, like, get back or whatever. And I was just thinking, like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, damn. You do question, like, am I really driving like 4 hours to do like 10 minutes on stage? And it's like, that's what it is. It's like, and that's why Dying Laughing is a good watch, because it'll make you realize, okay, it's a cute idea, but unless you're that, like you said, the outlier.
Well, it definitely takes a lot of discipline too, and not getting sucked into the different vices that are around. Because I mean, a lot of people, I think a lot of people waste a lot of time at open mics and stuff. Where it's good to sometimes just kind of get in, focus on what matters. It's like doing your set and getting it. You don't have to hang out for another 4 hours and drink beer and talk shit on everybody. Which becomes the habit. But I mean, I think, like, you can still get back home early enough and get some sleep. I mean,
yeah, that's so true.
Definitely more of a night owl's gig, but there's some that.
And that's why I keep praising Bert's, because it's finally, like, literally a comedy gym now. You walk in, you do your 55 minutes, 5 minutes at a time, get in, get out, you're done. Like, that's a gym. Say your shit and get out. So cheers to comedy.
Fuck yeah. Fuck cheers. And Howard Schultz right here.
So I want to also ask you, will you be comfortable telling me a secret? Like, just what's something that people don't know about the cast, man? Because
something they don't know about me?
Because, like, I feel like a lot of people know about you, but they don't know about you.
Really?
Well, because, like, whenever I tell them Anchor Bar, they're like, "Oh yeah, like Fock Ya Nation." Like, it's very popular, but it's still so underground. So, like, just tell us a little, like, cast man secret. Because I wanted to title this episode something like just interviewing the cast man, or just, again, I know we're talking a lot about comedy, which usually it happens when I have, like, and especially you. I respect you, and I look up to you as, like, as an example, and someone
much appreciated.
Absolutely. So, do you have something that you could tell us that would make our listeners be like, hey, you know what I learned on the Healthy Gossip about the cast man?
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything off the top of your head?
Wow. Trying to think.
I know it's a weird question.
I mean, I am a pretty mysterious guy. You
You
know,
are.
I keep definitely a shroud. You know, you know, I don't know.
Or even if it's something like a tip, because like I feel that sometimes there's been times where I haven't even like wanted to walk into a club because either I was just like there were no cars in the parking lot and I'm like, oh God, I gotta walk up to somebody and say, where's the list? Or like, yeah, or maybe even like a life hack because sometimes what we do on
maybe
the
this is kind of serious. I went to therapy for a long time.
oh really okay
In high school, I was a psych major, and so I thought about I was interested in being like a clinician, like a
hmm
clinical psychologist. That was, and I think that's what has lended my skills to hosting comedy shows and dealing with high volumes of performers.
going to therapy or wanting to be
Well,
a like
both,
a
both.
oh, okay
I think sorting out some of my own stuff, and then coming from a place of empathy,
okay
and actually wanting to take on the challenge of helping those who need to be sorted out, sort out their stuff.
hmm
I think that, yeah. So I mean, there's definitely an element of therapy in hosting a 6-hour comedy show and just dealing with a lot of comics. But yeah, I would say definitely with the entertainment industry, I think people kind of romanticize or there's kind of the trope of like, oh, I'm so like you got to be messed up to be a comedian, man. Like,
hmm
well, why are you dating this girl or guy who is you know, she seems like, well, you know, I mean, you need tumultuous relationships. You know, your relationship should be unstable if you're a comedian. You know, you should be
Yes.
you should not be stable if you're a comedian. You know, you should have low self-esteem and you should.
right
So I don't know. I would encourage that. I would encourage working on yourself. You know,
yeah
and not using. And I think stand-up is not a good therapeutic tool.
no
Yeah, you know,
absolutely that's
people are
great
like, dude,
advice
the stage is my therapy, man. The stage and vodka and
hell no I learned that last
cocaine.
night
You know,
no.
yeah, definitely don't self-medicate. Yeah, work on yourself. You know, I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was actually going to say we also do a tip of the week, and that's great advice. That
Yeah.
yes, I feel like most of us who do comedy do obviously have a dark side, but that's not something to try to keep dark, like you said. Like it's like
Yeah,
we may have had dark things happen to us, but it's not like oh,
Yeah.
I guess I need to go out and 'cause
Yeah, and there's a lot of self-sacrifice, and I think especially in stand-up. I mean, I think that's what's great about doing podcasts is that you don't have to sacrifice the same amount of time or just pure travel and effort. Like you can
yeah,
just do the podcast in your bedroom in Austin or wherever you're at, and you don't need to drive, you know, 45 miles to go up to Flappers or
you're right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of sacrifice in pursuing stand-up already. So, you know, don't sacrifice your health on top of that. And
Exactly.
and people, I think, just don't make excuses either, because yeah, people make a lot of excuses with stand-up.
Right.
Oh, you know, it's like, oh, I'm drinking every day. It's like, well, you know, I get nervous before I go on stage, so I have to drink.
Right.
That's an excuse, you know.
Well, now my advice is just like don't drink where you want to work, because
Yeah,
even if you're
yeah.
not going up, like I was like, well, in my mind I was like, it's a minute, like oh, what's gonna happen in a minute? A lot is gonna happen
Yeah.
in a minute, and
Yeah,
then
the store,
10 minutes after
the
that.
store too. The store, there's so much happening. There's so much going on at the same time at the store.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I don't think, yeah, you know, and so it's understandable. Like, oh, I need a drink when you get there. But
Well, you're so right, because I remember walking out to get another drink. I had a buddy
Yeah.
who's like, oh, I'm in the belly room. They're, oh, I'm here for the potluck. It's like, wow, like there's so.
yeah,
You're gonna say something, Alex?
No, I was just gonna ask you if you remember the conversation we had at Bert's yesterday.
Oh, about me.
Well, no, just about taking that whole thing seriously. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's people. Yeah, I don't know. People will see it. You'll run into
Yeah.
people, and I also, because I work at a club, I get this. Not being drunk at clubs is also important because that's where most of your hustle happens.
Right.
No one's booking the hammered guy who's fallen on the bar. But, if
Right.
you have a sober conversation with a cool person, yeah.
This is Booker,
The
right?
fucking Cashman. I'm sure you get it all the time. I'm sure.
Well, I've been that guy too, and
Yeah.
I can say definitely, like it at Anchor Bar, getting, let's just say the bartender hooking you up with a few free beers. You kind of don't indulge yourself in that too much. Sometimes, it's okay to leave a comedy venue with 3 unredeemed drink tickets in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's okay to
Right.
do that. So it's quite all right, because I would always get that kind of cognitive dissonance of like, oh, it feels like I get paid more if I have a drink because of that. I got paid plus 2 more beers, and I think that's an easy trap to run into. And definitely especially at clubs, you want to treat comedy clubs kind of like the cathedrals of comedy. You really want to kind of be a little awestruck and kind of be, definitely be like, this is not a place to not just drink, but also just. I have that happen so much at the club you work at. In the back of while the lab work's going on, just people being like, oh, this the booker's sitting 2 people down, and someone's like, dude, this guy sucks. It's like, dude, that's the booker right there. Like, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you hear. I mean, comics are always talking shit, and so it's like.
Well, and also, to the drink ticket thing, and
Yeah.
you sit here and you say, well, I feel like I get my money's worth if I get my 3 drinks, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay to not. Also, think about how the club feels. If they pay you a little bit of money for a set and they give you a couple tickets and you don't
Yeah.
redeem them,
Oh,
they look
yeah,
at you in the
yeah.
future as, oh, he's a cheaper, oh, if a sober guy comes and features for me for 6 shows, I just saved 18 drinks worth of, you know what I mean?
That's why I BYO dub, man.
Yeah.
I bring bottled water to clubs.
Yeah.
It shows that I'm booked on. Like, even I'll bring my own food sometime. I mean, I'm allergic to everything, so
But
I sometimes have to bring my own food.
That's a way for the club to look at you as a financial,
yeah.
you're costing them less money too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, also don't let venues take advantage of you. That
Yeah,
that
well.
happens. But I mean, shout outs. I mean, the Improv's a great club. I
So
mean,
you do
they're-
Brea a lot, yeah?
Yeah,
Nice, very cool.
Brea's kind of my home club, apart from Anchor Bar.
Mhm.
And I've been there a lot over the years. The management there is pretty cool. They've had a few different dynasties over the years, and I like the guys right now a lot. And they just moved to the new spot. It's pretty dope.
Nice, yeah.
I feel like they got it right too in terms of the setup, because like Irvine is really long, but Brea is more wide, so it's a good setup for that.
Nice.
Yeah, we got Fock Ya Nation there tomorrow.
Oh,
actually,
fuck yeah.
Fock Ya
with,
Nation.
isn't
Tim Dillon,
Ooh.
your number 1 fan.
Tim.
Beautiful.
Tim.
Oh, he's watching right now.
It's always a good show when Tim's around.
Yeah, Tim's the man. Hilarious.
Well, I'm glad I asked you that question because your little riff there at the end, I'm gonna call it a riff.
That was a riff. That was definitely.
It was like therapy for me because it's like
Oh,
you're
thank you.
calling it the cathedral, like you comparing it to a church. I'm like,
You have-
wow.
Wh-
I've
who-
just been.
What is your insurance, by the way? We'll send you the comedy pop-up insurance.
It's Medi-Cal.
Dirty
Yeah.
dog in it. yeah.
If you have Medi-Cal, you can get a less therapy session
Yeah.
with the cast man. Well, that went by really fast.
It did,
And
yeah.
thank you so much for coming and dropping
you.
on all of that niche energy and wisdom
It's
on
really
us.
it's really the niche. It's the Fock Ya energy. I tap into it. I'm a humble vessel of the Fock Ya energy.
So this isn't gonna this actually isn't gonna drop for until I'm ahead of time here because I thought I was gonna
That's
go.
good. You gotta be.
Yeah.
That's my other bit of advice. Stock a few episodes in the can for your pod.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely ahead of time now.
Check out Fock Ya Nation podcast.
there you go.
On Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud.
And what's your Instagram? Oh, actually, we're
It's
gonna
all-
put it on.
it's
We're gonna
all-
put it on
oh,
the.
yeah. It's all
follow.
Fock Ya Nation. FOCKYA Nation. It's all
Cool.
Fock Ya Nation. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, podcast.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Comedy Pop Up guys. This was very insightful for me, and I love doing this. So thank you for listening. And thank you for all of the new listeners too, because I've been getting a lot of love lately for this show and it's making me really happy. So let's keep the energy up. Thank you so much. We'll see you next
up.
week.
Like it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.